once again, the productivity for Insomniac games is off the charts. It cannot be denied. It is insane. It is fucking crazy. Marvel's Wolverine and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. It is a great time to be a comic book fan. I'm talking like Insomniac has done 5 games when studios failed to put out just one title. That is absolutely absurd. Like, what are they doing over there to manage all that time, all those resources, and not crunch? That is so fantastic. I love these guys. They are currently climbing up the ladder to be the golden feather in PlayStation's cap. I love Naughty Dog. I still do. But Insomniac, man, they cannot be denied. They are the ones pushing the boat for the PlayStation 5. They make me want to have a symbiote. We gotta talk about Marvel's Wolverine first. I gotta calm down. I gotta calm the fuck down. We gotta talk about this. So the first thing we saw in the trailer was just a shot of what appears to be a man with his back turned, and any Wolverine fan knows the cowboy hat, the plaid. We know it's Logan. The real ones know it's Logan. Focuses on the hairy arms, you can tell, and then the claws come out, or the adamantium claw sound, as some stupid journalist said on Twitter. But you know, shoot, it came out. Everybody was hyped. I think this game is gonna come well after Spider-Man. Then again, there is some buzz, there is some writings in the PlayStation blog that says some of the team from Miles Morales worked on this, so maybe they'll be working in tandem for Wolverine and Spider-Man 2 at the same time, so maybe it will come out maybe a year or two later. That being said, we saw it, we loved it, we enjoyed it. There's so many facets here, and the first thing is this game having an M rating, rated M for mature. Will this game push the envelope and be bloody and gory as it possibly could? I'm not 100% opposed. I think they know that the blueprint for one of the best X-Men Wolverine games was X-Men Origins Wolverine Uncaged Edition for the PS3 and Xbox 360, and that game featured Logan as a complete animal, a complete beast, and there were key features from that game that should be taken into consideration, like the real-time healing. Like, are we gonna see the blood and the gore drip off Logan's face as his skin and hair slowly regenerates again? Will there be a new Berserker Barrage Rage mode? Because that seems to be in all of the Wolverine-centric games, at least the ones I played, like X-Men Origins Wolverine and of course X2 Wolverine's Revenge. I think that had like a Berserker mode, and I think that had also a Feral Scent mode where you could sniff out people and you could do like some stealth and you could plan ahead and stuff like that. It makes you really think, will they have all of those features or will they do them differently? There's always the blueprint, but there's always the ability for Insomniac to do things differently, because the main thing they like to tinker with is gadgets. In this case, Logan is the gadget, he is the weapon, he is the offender here. And I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna use these upgrade trees to enhance Logan and make that sort of their own gadget system, their own internal gadget system. So you're gonna see Wolverine do crazy things like drill claws, Berserker Barrage, new animations. I would assume that's what they should go with. It just needs to be rated M. I want to see brains, I want to see blood, I want to see guts, I want to see thighs cut off, I want to see fingers just go the way of the fucking dodo, I want to see heads roll, I want to see skulls come out, I want to see all this stuff happen in real time, because once again, this is the avenue for mature storytelling for Insomniac, and we know they could do it. It's not the first time Insomniac has done M-rated games before, people. I'm looking at you, Resistance Fall of Man. I'm looking dead in your direction. What type of gameplay should we expect for this Wolverine game? I would assume, once again, it's going to be a beat 'em up, hack and slash affair. It's going to be 100% possibly similar to the X-Men Origins game. I know I keep referring to this, but it's in similar vein to how Spider-Man 2 was sort of like a blueprint for Marvel Spider-Man. They have the formula down. It's very easy to do. Honestly, there's many of these old Activision superhero games that people could take formulas from when Marvel published them like all the way back in the day. I would suspect that there's going to be stealth mechanics too, because there is those moments where Logan is trying to infiltrate a base, and there could be that possibility as well. Maybe the lunge mechanic comes back where Logan decides to jump in the air about at least a good 5 or 6 feet, maybe 10, and he jumps at the opponent and completely rams his claws into the opponent's chest. That's like a signature move. That's gotta come back, baby, come on. And then there's the big what ifs. What is the story going to be like? What type of scenarios are we going to see? Are we going to see the Weapon X program and him finally getting the adamantium infused inside of his body? Will there be, of course, the aftermath of the Weapon X project where all those scientists at Alkali Lake get slaughtered by Logan, and William Stryker is the one to see it unfold right before his very eyes? I know this is 100% mandatory, but there's going to be allusions to other X-Men, right? There's so much possibilities, there's so many avenues, and we only seen a little snippet of what's in store. They promise an emotional story, and I believe them. Maybe do stuff with Yuriko, maybe do stuff with the Silver Samurai and how that all ended up, and how Lady Deathstrike ended up being created later on. Logan has a tragic history with females anyway, a lot of them dying, eating a dirt nap, etc. Therefore, that could be factored into the story as well. There could also be stuff like costumes. Costumes, man. It's 100% blasphemy if they don't use the classic black, yellow, and blue costume that Logan debuted in. Like, we need that. We need that, like, super hardcore. We also need some costumes from maybe Uncanny X-Men, X-Men Evolution with the orange and black, maybe the costumes from the movies as well, because you had that costume with Logan having the black and yellow accents, the one that Cyclops makes fun of. What, you want to settle for yellow spandex? Well, hell yeah, we do. That costume needs to be in as well. Maybe Old Man Logan, that could be a thing. You could take either the loose adaptation of the movie, or you could take the comic version. Either way, I would take it as well. That's got to be a thing. That's got to be in there. It could be so many fucking outfits used that the possibilities could be fucking endless. And not only mentioning this, Insomniac could also create their own original outfits like they did for Marvel Spider-Man. We need to see more of this game. We need to see more information. We barely had any. We just know it's coming. Bub, I'm gonna be the best at what I do, and what I do isn't very nice. Alright, let's do some sort of like just complete breakdown of Marvel Spider-Man 2. The first thing we saw was the obvious in rendering of the game, which means it's along a bit nicely. It's in very early alpha footage. From what we gather, there's like very early testing on this game. But it is nice to see the graphics are looking pretty sweet and solid, and they have that foundation from the previous game, which was Miles Morales. That being said, there is a bit to talk about here as well, because we saw Spider-Man Peter Parker and Spider-Man Miles Morales was piecing up this thug. They were completely beating the shit out of someone. It was great. And then we heard a familiar voice. Well, we heard two of them actually. One of them people speculate to be Kraven the Hunter, because that first guy, he talks about being challenged, he talks about no one defeating him. That's only Kraven tactics to me. The greatest hunter wanting to be defeated by the greatest person, and he wants to meet his equal, he wants to fight, and that's what he likes to do. Kraven loves the hunt. And then we hear the second voice, which is familiar if you know Candyman fame. Tony Todd. Say Candyman in the mirror 5 times and you're gonna get completely annihilated. Tony Todd as the voice of Venom, the titular character, the titular villain of this story, and it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be, oh my god, holy fuck, man. I knew Venom would be in this trailer. I knew Venom would be the next villain considering the setup of Marvel Spider-Man, but still, seeing him, hearing him, it gives me goosebumps. I just cannot wait. It looked like he didn't have the white spider on his chest. However, it could be there. We probably just didn't get a great shot. At the same time, if it's not there, it might grow organically as time goes on, just like Ultimate Spider-Man. In terms of villains I want to see, we already possibly have Kraven, and then we have Venom. I think bosses with physics based around them will push the envelope of the PS5. I want to see Sandman just sort of swirl around and try to ensnare Peter and Miles. I want to see Hydro try to drown half of the city. That would be pretty sweet. I want to see what happens if they go full in on this Clintar storyline with the symbiotes. Will there be some carnage illusion in the story? Will Cletus Cassidy come out of the shadows? Is there going to be some carnage down the road? They might save that though for the sequel or more spin-off content like Miles Morales where it will stand alone. They could do something like that. Maybe are they going to show some Green Goblin since Harry is involved? That's a little bit weird since he's going to be Venom. Is he going to lose the suit and then eventually Eddie Brock will get the suit on him? There's so many endless possibilities to this. I also want to talk about something really quickly. It's the fact that I want the symbiote to get on Peter or Miles. I don't care how they do it. I don't care how it's done. I want to see the symbiote get on one or the other and experience the powers. Is the powers going to be different if we do have the symbiote suits? The symbiote suits have to be in the game because Brian Intihar, he said that they're going to be in this one. They're going to be somewhat featured in this one. Are they going to go whole hog? Are they going to make new symbiote suits? We just don't know yet. Obviously, it's a given. It's Insomniac. I would assume double the pleasure, double the fun, because we have two characters now. These two characters can now interact in combat situations between Peter Parker and Miles Morales. There's not going to be co-op. I assume though there's going to be a switching mechanic that is similar to Batman Arkham Knight. There are situations where you can play as Batman and then you can switch between Nightwing and there's double team moves. I think this is how they're going to up the ante on the combat, because if you can have two Spider-Man that you can upgrade at will with their own individual skill sets, then it's going to completely change the entire dynamic of the game. It's going to give the players who like Peter all of his abilities and gadgets, and then it's going to give the people who like Miles with his Venom powers and how that was vital and crucial to the gameplay and enhance everything by electrocuting people and obviously going in stealth mode and beating people up from there. It means that you don't lose any of the best of the both worlds from the standalone game or the main game itself. Just to recap, the best of Miles Morales being shoved into one game and the best of Marvel Spider-Man being shoved into the same game, and then the cherry pie on top, or the symbiotic cherry on top, means that we might open up a symbiotic skill tree if we get the powers from the Venom suit. And I think that would be the greatest thing in history if we manage to get all of these things on top of each other to build on a solid foundation. This is how sequels should be done. Let's cycle back to what I said earlier. How do I feel about no co-op? Well, I could live without it as long as the game is good. A good single player narrative. And the things I want Venom killing Rio Morales. She basically died to Venom in the Ultimate Universe, and that would cause a chain of reactions. If Miles's mother was killed by Venom, that means that he's going for revenge. He's going for it, and we have to stop him as Peter, and that's going to be a very dramatic moment if that happens. Like I said, I already said I want the black suit to get on the characters. Maybe it could do some sort of like revenge quest for some of these characters. I'm not expecting it to be like Web of Shadows. I just want something different in the process. I want this to be part of the gameplay adjustments that they are making. If they really care about our feedback, then they should do the remedial task of completely fixing the side missions, because the side missions in the original Spider-Man, oh no sir, oh no, I don't want to swim through bird shit as Peter Parker doing missions for Harry Osborn. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to control spider bots doing mundane things. I want to do some badass fly shit. That's what I want to do. I want to do something awesome with these side missions, and I want them to feel integral to the upgrades that I'm receiving. Miles Morales almost had it, but it just wasn't enough for me. It needs to be more pertinent to the story, and it needs to be more pertinent to doing an activity where everything's actually cool and everything is actually not being repetitive in the process. The last thing is the 2023 release date and the suit mod controversy for Peter Parker. Now, I'm gonna go over these really quickly because this video is already long as is. I want to talk about the 2023 release date. Insomniac, take your time. God damn, I'm gonna have to put myself in a cryo chamber in order to wait until 2023. Take your time, it'll be worth it. I'll have a PS5. You sold me. I'm in. The next thing is the final part, which is the suit mod controversy for Peter Parker. People are getting mad because Peter Parker upgraded his suit and now it has the Iron Spider claws in the back of the advanced suit. Where were you motherfuckers complaining when Batman upgraded his costume like several times to be more bullet resistant, to have more gadgets, etc.? Like, where were you people when that happened? You weren't complaining about that, but of course it's Spider-Man, so I mean, complain away, I guess. Complain away. It doesn't make sense. If you don't like the suit mod, you could take it off in the original game, and I assume this next game is gonna have those same features where if you don't like the suit mod, you could take it off for something else, right? Stop complaining, use your brain and think for a second, okay? Anyway, this is Renegade Operative signing out. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon to get my videos in your inbox, and I will see you guys soon. Tell me what you thought of the video in the comment section below. Are you guys pumped? Are you guys hyped? I know I am, baby, 100%. Be sure to check me out on social media below in the description, and I will see you guys soon. Take care, peace, true believers, and once again, stay safe. See you later.